So, if you guys know anything about me, you know that I am not computer savvy. So, the easier, the better. And that's why I decided to use Anchor.fm for my podcast. You should too. They have creative tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone. They distribute your podcast for you, and you can make money with no minimum listenerships. And above everything, it's totally free. So, download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. You know what? Let's talk. You feel me? Let's have a talk. Let's talk about your freedom of choice. How if you wanted to, you would. You feel me? And we all know that. No one can force you to do something that you do not want to do, including those things like grow. You feel me? If you want to grow, you're going to grow. You feel me? You're going to put the time and the energy and the effort into growing if that's what you really want to do. So at this point, you feel me, in life, it's not even about if you or the people around you have the opportunity to or have the resources to grow. Because let me tell you something, with the internet, you have everything you need these days. Okay? We have evolved greatly when it comes to information and opportunities. Okay? At this point is if you want to do it, if you want to participate, if you want to stagnate. You feel me? Life is a choice. And we have to be accountable for our choices that we make and the choices that we take advantage of and the choices that we don't, or opportunities rather. You feel me? But at the end of the day, you've made a decision. It's yours to make. And growing is no different. You have a choice to grow, you have a choice to stay the same. And if you choose to stay the same, let's put things into perspective. If you choose not to grow, you choose to do the same stuff you've been doing, every day, every week, every month, every year, after year. You feel me? You choosing to be the walking dead. You're choosing to be dead. You feel me? Anything that's not changing is not growing. Anything that's not growing is dead. You feel me? Life is about growth. It's a journey of growth. It's a cycle and journey of growth. But you have to participate. You feel me? You can't just do nothing. You can't just stay the same. You can't just not have new experiences. You can't just not experience new people. You can not just not experience new places and things, whether it be physically, mentally, or anything, whatever. You have to have new experiences to grow. You have to have new experiences to grow. And it's a choice that you make. You feel me? New experiences these days can come right from the internet. Click of a button, right in your hand. That's a choice you make to use it productively or destructively. It's a choice you make. You understand? It's a choice you make to wake up every day and do whatever it is that you do. Whatever morning ritual it is that you do, that's the choice that you made. And if you analyze the repercussions of that choice, are you happy? Do you feel good? You feel me? We see too much, we understand too much, we know too much. We've evolved enough to realize the power of choice. You understand? We have evolved enough to realize that the things that we do causes our own destruction. Yes, there are systemic structures put in place. Yes, but essentially what I'm saying is your everyday ritual, your everyday thought process, your everyday habits, your everyday purchases, your everyday focus, you know, what you are intaking every day, what you are consuming every day on all levels, not just on a physical or a oral level, what you're eating, but what you're watching, what you're listening to, what you're giving your energy to, etc., etc. These are all choices. These are all choices that we're making. So you choose, what you become by what you intake. And we've evolved enough as a people to have a clear understanding of this. You see, whether it's subconsciously or consciously, you have a clear understanding of the things that you do, whether the outcome you like it or not. You keep dealing with this same person and they keep on hurting you. You have a clear understanding that they keep hurting you. And you have a clear choice to keep dealing with them or not. You feel me? We've evolved enough to know that if you keep on eating, an unhealthy diet, it's going to cause unhealthy circumstances within your body because you feel it. You're living it and you don't like it, you know? So you have a choice, a conscious choice to do something about it or to continue the cycle. This is not a mystery. This is not something that, so at this point, are you stagnant or are you evolving? Are your daily habits helping you or are they hurting you? This is a choice, and we have to have this real conversation because, after we analyze and understand this, which we already do, it's a matter of looking in the mirror, looking in the mirror and being honest with yourself, not to tear yourself down, but to build yourself up. So you have to start at ground zero with being honest and just being in your truth, standing in your truth and in your knowing of the situation. Again, not to tear yourself down. Not to tear yourself down. That's the thing that catches us up a lot when it comes to the process and progress. We look down on where we was and who we are. You can't do that. You got to love yourself no matter who you are, where you are at in the process in life, because you got to start somewhere. You can't start from the top. You got to get to the top. You got to get to the top. So you got to be okay with where you are. Because if you're not okay with where you are, how you going to start the process? How you going to acknowledge where you at to get to the next step? If you can't acknowledge that you at zero, how you going to go make the first step to one? You're not going to make the first step because you don't even realize, or you don't want to realize, that you're at zero. You got to be okay with being at zero, because that's where potential is, at ground zero. That's where potential is. And as long as you can acknowledge ground zero and be thankful that you reached ground zero, because ground zero is a blessing. Ground zero is a blessing. It's a blessing to realize that you need to change, or that you want to change, or that something is not working. That's a blessing, because that's where everything starts. That's where all your growth starts. That's where everything starts. And that's where everything starts to change. Because as soon as you start to change your thought process, you'll start to change your behavior. And as soon as you start to change your behavior, you start to change your life. And as soon as you start to change your thought process, you open up the universe to all the potential to bring you everything it is that you've changed in your mind to manifest. It is the law of attraction. It is the power of manifestation. You feel me? We have evolved enough to understand the power that we have within our thoughts, the power that we have within our day-to-day routines and rituals. You feel me? We all know this. Whether you can mentally process and elaborate on it, or if you can just feel it. This is a knowing. So now it's time to honor that knowing that we all have, that it's time to grow, that it's time to change some narratives. You feel me? It's time to change some processes. It's time to change some habits, some some patterns. It's time to change some rituals, some ways of treating people, ways of going about your everyday routine. You feel me? The things that you eat, the things that you put into your environment, your surroundings. You feel me? Into your children's environments and surroundings. It's time to just change the narrative, because we have the choice and we know better. And when you know better, you got to do better or remain in a cycle. But here's the thing is, evolution is natural. So whether you coming, we going. You understand? Whether you coming, the world is evolving. So it's going with or without you, and understand what happens to anything that does not evolve is dead. So you'll get left behind. You understand? If you here, it's a blessing to be here. That means you still got some evolving to do. And right now, you still making a choice to do that. Cause it ain't too late. As long as you here, you still got time. You feel me? You here. Nothing happens for no reason. You ain't still here by mistake. Honor that. Seriously. If you need an affirmation, this is your affirmation. If you needed a sign, hey, this is your sign. That change you've been thinking about making, it's time to make it. You understand? It's time to make it. It's been time to make it, but now you know for certain it's time to make it because it's time to grow. You feel me? It's time to grow. It's time to grow on every single level. On every single level. That means we not accepting the same stuff that we used to accept from ourselves and from our environment. Okay? You feel me? That means we're setting the bar higher. That means we're expressing and processing and delivering at higher levels of understanding because we're there and we know that we're there. Therefore, we should be performing like we are there. You see, because we are there. And it's time, so we can't stay stagnant. We can't stay where we were, where we are. We have to keep moving. We have to keep growing. And for us not to is unreal for us not to, that the way the information is being spread at this rate in this world today. We have totally progressed from a third dimension to a fourth dimension world where information is right there. The evolution is right there. You can literally see a line between the higher and the lower conscious in on the internet. I mean, just like night and day. And I don't know if I couldn't be the only one because it's just right there. You can see those low vibrating energies. You can see the higher vibrating energies, and you can see the bridge gappers. You can see this. You can see it in conversations. You can see it in expression. You can see it all over. We're not even talking about outside. We're not even operating, on a physical level anymore. This is a total new world, a total new way of processing information, a total new way of understanding. Everything that we've known before, it's evolving. That means there's a lot of potential in what's to come. And we can write it, and we are writing it. You feel me? So it's time to take responsibility for our choices that we're making, for the world that we're creating, for the energies that we're putting out and reciprocating. You feel me? It's time to take responsibility. It's time to grow. You feel me? It's time to be a better person, a better people. It's just time. It's time to change the narrative. Love and light.